Okay, I am so excited for this video because it combines my love for health and wellness and beauty with good food, good eating. It is all about a root vegetable that, I'm not being dramatic, but it really did change my life. Okay, everybody, season 4 of the TV series that I'm working on called Star Foodies, I went to the island country of Cyprus, and there I interviewed an actress. And at the end of every interview, we always go into health and wellness and food and their favorite foods. And I asked them what I should remake in my kitchen when I come back to Canada. And this actress, before she was an actress, she studied physiotherapy. So she was really into health and wellness. And she said, you know, something we grew up eating here in Cyprus is called kolokasi. I didn't know what the Greek word was. When I translated it through all my research, I had never heard of the English word. It ended up being a pretty spectacular root vegetable called Taro Root, and it is predominantly grown in both dry and wet climates, but very tropical climates, like a subtropical climate, particularly very popular in Malaysia, in the Philippines, in Jamaican food, and I did not know it was also very popular in the Mediterranean diet. And it really changed my life without sounding dramatic, because right before that season of the show, I had the very infamous viral virus that kind of stopped the world for a while. And the side effects were issues with my hair, tulogen and fluvium. I've talked about it on the channel before, and I have separate videos about that. And then it also gave me a lot of skincare issues, which is where my skincare journey really started, where I started talking to dermatologists, interviewing as many doctors as I could, finding out about skincare. That's where it really all began. So I was still in the recovery stage when I met this actress after the interview. So when I got back to Canada, I found the Taro Root. So first of all, it was very hard to find. I found it in Jamaican supermarkets. I found it in Chinese supermarkets, and you pay for it by the pound. And I actually had no idea how to cook it. So I literally was stopping people in the supermarket and saying, oh, you're buying this, how do you cook it? And then I found a bunch of different recipes. So like predominantly in the Jamaican cuisine, it would be made like as a stew or a soup. The Filipinos, they told me they would cut it up like sweet potato fries and put it in the oven. For Mediterranean cooking, like the actress Skevi that I interviewed, she taught me about the one pot cooking. So for the TV series, for that episode, I made it into a stew. But when I do the show, I research the food and I talk a lot about the nutritional benefits of eating those foods for health, for beauty, for everything from the inside out. And I discovered it was so spectacular that I had to start eating it myself. And the way that I wanted to eat it was cutting it up sort of like the sweet potato fries and putting them in the oven. And the way I make them to this day is that method, and the cooking methods will be the last part of this video. I always have timestamps and chapters. I know everybody's always in a rush, so just get to the part that you want to see, or if you want to be fully informed, of course, watch the entire video. So let's talk about what it is and the nutritional benefits. It's a starchy root vegetable originating from places, as I mentioned, like India and Malaysia. It predominantly was intaked or consumed by athletes because it gives you such good energy, and it's very low on the glycemic index. So if you have issues with blood sugar, if you're dieting for health and wellness reasons, yes, you can still eat it. This is not going to spike your glucose levels. This is going to give you amazing energy, and this is going to fill you up. So one of the benefits that I saw was that it helps with weight loss. And I didn't understand that until I started consuming it, because I still consume it from the 4th season. Now I'm wrapping my 7th season. So for 3 years, I've been consuming it probably 2 or 3 times a week, because it is a bit of a pain for me to cook. And I can tell you, I have it in the morning with a little bit of grass-fed butter, and this stuff keeps me full all day. This has high fiber, so it'll clean you out and it makes you feel full. And so that's why in the benefits, you'll see the reviews are like, oh, it made me feel full, so I ate less. It helped with my digestion. It cleared out my stomach. It's low glycemic, so it's very good if you have cholesterol. Okay, so let's talk about more benefits here. Let's talk about the antioxidants. This has vitamin C. And when I'm talking about antioxidants here, I want y'all to realize that a lot of fruits and vegetables have antioxidants, but the reason taro root is so unique and considered a superfood in the Mediterranean is because the combination of all the benefits that it has, it's so nutrient dense, are very hard to find in just one product. Like you can have one piece of produce and you're getting a ton of vitamin C. 11% of your daily intake will come from 1 cup of the taro root vegetable. We talked about it being low glycemic food, so this will slowly break down the glucose in your liver, and that's another reason that it will help with weight loss. It really lowers your blood sugar levels. And of course, we mentioned giving you long-lasting energy, helping with hypoglycemia. Now, healthy skin and healthy hair, it contains vitamin A, it contains vitamin E, which of course that means that it may help you with your skin elasticity, the moisture. When you have more moisture, you're less prone to wrinkles and blemishes. Because it has such a high water content, it's very hydrating for the skin and for the hair. And it's a great source of hyaluronic acid, which is so famous. It's a great source of hyaluronic production for the body because of its high water content. And of course, this contributes to elasticity and moisture when it comes to skin and hair. The taro root itself can also help with skin healing properties. Once again, more hydration, better skin healing, less blemishes, less wrinkles, more hyaluronic acid production. So those vitamins A and vitamin C are very important. When we're talking about like beauty benefits for the taro root, we're talking about these components. Now, when I told you that it was nutrient dense, listen to this. There are vitamins A, vitamins B, and vitamin C in this, and let's talk about them. So these vitamins include copper, magnesium, zinc, magnesium, calcium, iron, selenium, potassium, beta-carotene, and cryptoxanthin. So all these antioxidants are amazing from protecting our bodies from diseases and then also slowing down the aging process. This taro root vegetable also contains protein. It's gluten-free, cholesterol-free, and it is also low in sodium. So you see it's getting like check, 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 check. Okay, let's talk vitamin A, because taro root vegetable has more than 160% of the daily intake of vitamin A that our body requires. So it has a lot of vitamin A. That's why they're saying that it's really the combination of all these vitamins in this jam that are all jam-packed together in this root vegetable that really makes it so special. Something else that this has is pretty phenomenal, although I have not found the taro root with the leaves yet, but the leaves of the taro root have polyphenols. Polyphenols, we've talked about them before on the channel. Polyphenols, poly from the Greek word poly, phenols are the antioxidant. These are probably most infamously found in olive oil. Polyphenols are the antioxidants that help our bodies fight oxidative stress. Oxidative stress occurs when there is an imbalance in our free radicals, meaning that there could be a negative cell change that could lead to chronic diseases. So polyphenols, that's why they're so important as disease-fighting nutrients. They're antioxidants. That's why there have been so many studies at universities like Harvard where they're specifically studying polyphenols, and of course oleocanthal, which is found in the polyphenol, which is found in olive oil, good extra virgin olive oil, specifically early harvest. Now, I can tell you that I have specifically worked with and interviewed people that are studying this for disease fighting. So polyphenols, it's really key here. They are antioxidants and they are found on the leaves of this taro root vegetable. So we're getting yet another bonus from this taro root vegetable if you find it with the leaves. All right, we're also packed with vitamin E. I believe I did mention that before, but vitamin E is incredible because we're getting the magnesium. It could help us lower our blood sugar levels. It can also help us with our muscles and our nerves. Omega-3s and amino acids. Taro root also has omega-3s, omega-6, and I discovered this on my own, guys. Like my optometrist who got me really into the omega-3s, he did not tell me about the taro root vegetable, and I was very pleasantly surprised that I have been getting my omega-3s and my 6s also from this taro root vegetable. Now, as far as skin and hair, it is jam-packed with antioxidants, everybody. This is very good for the strength of our hair, all of the vitamins that I mentioned, as well as our skin, not to mention all the hydration that we're getting in here. So once again, more plump skin helps us with our well aging, and then helps us with our hair strength as well. And I can tell you guys that when I discovered all this, I was trying to eat this literally on a daily to get back like my hair strength and my skin strength after I was fighting the virus, and then I had all of those side effects. Now, of course, I didn't isolate this variable, so I don't know how much this contributed to my recovery, but I recovered very well, and I think that what I was eating definitely helped, and so I think that this had a good part in it. Okay, now it's time to discuss something really important: how to handle raw taro, and then the actual prep process before we cook it. Listen up, I have been eating this for about 3 years now, and I have done a ton of research. Please do not handle this raw with bare hands, and most certainly, if you don't learn anything from this video, learn this: you cannot consume raw taro. Taro cannot be consumed raw because it has high levels of something called calcium oxalate. Now, this is a compound, you can look it up. This causes kidney stones, mouth irritation, numbing, burning, itchy, very negative side effects. Now, when I bring it home, this is what I do to prepare it. First of all, I put gloves on in the kitchen. Then I take it and I put it under running water to get rid of all of that dirt. Now, when cutting it up, this is also very important, and this took me a while and a lot of research to figure out how to get off that really thick peel. Think of it like a pineapple peel, except it doesn't have the spikes on it or the ridges. It's pretty smooth. So I did see videos of people in Malaysia, India, Australia with these large knives, and they were just holding it up vertically and cutting it all around. I found that very, very difficult. I'm not a trained chef. I am like a sous chef for the TV series, but I definitely cannot cut like that. So this is an easy method that I would recommend. You take it lengthwise, so horizontal, you put it on a cutting board, you've got your gloves on, it's already washed, and then you simply start cutting slices, very thin, probably 1/2 centimeter or so, and they are shaped like round wheels, okay? So you're cutting it like so, and then you've got a bunch of them on your cutting board. Then you are able to take each one and peel it really easily with the knife. This is my own method I came up with. So then I'd have a bunch of them on the cutting board that were clean and peeled, so there's no more peel. Then when they're all on the cutting board without the skin and they're just lined up perfectly, I then take them and I start slicing them into, I like them in really thin slices. I mean, this is up to y'all, like you're slicing French fries, and the knife will just slice right through them, and they're nice and clean and beautiful. I then take a tray, I put them on the tray like a baking dish or baking pan, throw them on there. I put on lots of extra virgin olive oil. I put on sea salt, and I put oregano, and I put a lot of each of these ingredients and components on there. I then, with my clean hands, remember this is all clean taro now, clean hands, I mix them all together. I'm assuming you can, I suppose you could also do this with a utensil. I just like doing it with my hands or a clean pair of gloves to make sure that they are drenched in olive oil, oregano, and sea salt. I then take the pan, the tray, I put it in the oven, and I bake them 40-45 minutes, depending how crispy you want them. The oven will get rid of all of those chemicals. They're not going to be toxic. There's no issues with them once they start baking. But again, you want to stay away from consuming these raw and touching them raw. Just make sure you handle them correctly. I may have put a little fear into y'all, but it's better to be careful with this. I actually was a little fearful when I started researching it, but the benefits way outweigh these fears. It goes in the oven, you forget about it. Halfway through, I like to take tongs and start flipping them around just to make sure that all sides, angles, everything is nice and crispy. And then when you take them out, they are ready to consume, and they are really delicious and exceptionally nutritious. Any inquiries on this one, please let me know. Always welcome in the description box below, and I will see y'all in the next one. Have a beautiful evening, everybody. Bye.